the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what plastic. I say, babe, it's, he said it's a, them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, he can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 with me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways, he said I'm.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the New Orleans Saints. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. On first down, Harvey. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. They were looking for Johnson that time. You think back to all the interceptions he threw last week. Here we go, first play of the game, another pick.
And you know that all week long, they spent time breaking down exactly why he threw the interceptions. Wasn't mechanics, bad reads, not enough study. Sometimes you just think about it way too much, and that leads you to the next one.
Time to refocus. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. On play action, they'll throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. He'll look to throw. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
Well, how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
From the gun on 3rd down. Harvey, a bullet throw, but incomplete.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, as he can really impact this offense. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And they'll go on the ground. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Watch it now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time.
Back 99 Philly,
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Now Lutz for the field goal try. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And Lutz's kick is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either way.
Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? The turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Throwing to start the drive. Harvey eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to go deep down. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 39 that time. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Harvey. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And they'll run it here. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. To throw on 2nd down. Harvey flushed out right. His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
On 3rd down, it's Moss, and he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there, hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are going to take a first quarter lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants a drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Detroit! Detroit! Over!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st and 10, Harvey flush to his right. He's got his man on the crossing route. A gain of 32 that time.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. On 3rd down, Harvey. And he fires one, but incomplete.
He's thrown one interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Over!
off the play fake. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches have told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Saints on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Now back to throw. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And out come the Dolphins now. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this down to the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now let's go!
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And a solid run down inside the 30. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Harvey fighting his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 3rd down, it's Moss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. We're back to New Orleans after this. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. Sanders' kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Lucky 56, lucky 56.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Buying time, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Well, Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean. They can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
The 2nd quarter score from Cincinnati. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. On 1st down, Harvey. Escaping the pressure right. And got his man complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk.
Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Throwing on 1st down. Harvey eluding the pressure. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the 1st half. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Operating from the gun, Harvey. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd. The Dolphins on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. Looking to throw. Harvey flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
Is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The second quarter score from Cincinnati. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And it's a fumble. And the Dolphins have got it. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half of their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that.
Lucky 56. Gone.
Following the fumble recovery, Harvey flushed to his right. And this is caught at the 8. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him 3 on the gain there, second and goal.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
He's going to get it running right. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's third and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
On third down, it's Moss. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Sanders is good. And the lead stretches. 16-3 now. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So what again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And a nice gain at 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
He'll drop to throw. Being chased out left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. And for the defense, their 3rd sack of the game.
That number tells you that they're starting to put it together with their defensive game plan. They're starting to feel pretty good about what the offense is doing, bringing the pressure at the right time, and putting the quarterback on the ground.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Gun! 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 Gun!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. The Saints on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is third down and 12.
I got 11. Gun! 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 Gun!
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. Right back to him on first down. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Now let's go. 319. 319.
To throw on second down. Harvey rolling to his right. Completing it to the right side. Johnson. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. And sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Dolphins on third down. Lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw. Harvey escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. 8 yards that time. Able to take off, and the result is a first down.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Harvey is going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
Detroit! Detroit! Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Runs over. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. They won on 2 fronts there, so to speak, Charles. Not only do they stop him short of the first, they get him out of bounds and stop the clock.
Yeah, they won. The offensive guys lost because they wanted to stay in bounds and have that clock run or force you to use timeouts. Instead, the defense won, as you mentioned, on both fronts.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Trying to lay one up deep. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. They'll drop to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Saints on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Gone! Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, look at 56. Look at...
They'll look to throw here. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let... And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. A big play for the Saints on 3rd down. 54 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get 4 there down to about the 12-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Back to throw here. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they've met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They're going to look to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On third down, that's Moss. Wiggles free, and he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. That'll be good for 6, but now it's fourth down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Patriots! Patriots!
They'll set up to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
The Dolphins on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 16.
Set! Green 39! Green 39! Check it out,
Now they'll run it on the toss. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called for and taken just inside the 10-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Leopard! Leopard! Now let's go!
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful. Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for Miami, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills.